so far we have created just inclined planes. We're now going to add a funnel to the end of this third ramp here. You might be thinking, funnel, not one of simple machines, and technically you're right, but we're going to let that double as a screw because we can probably get that ball bearing to spin around inside there. When I do something like this, I have the most luck if I start with the bottom of the funnel, the narrowest, but there's really several ways to do this. You could use the revolve tool to do it if you draw a profile of the funnel. I am going to, I think, draw instead a circle and extend it and then scale the top. So here's how that might look. I'm going to begin with the circle tool and draw a circle down here. Now my ball bearing is a half an inch, or yeah, half an inch diameter. So this opening needs to be bigger than that. So I think what we'll do is just make it 1 inch, just to keep things simple. So it's a 1 inch circle. Now I need to have a second circle inside this one, just a little bit smaller, because my funnel is going to be, open top and bottom. I could draw a concentric circle, or I can use my 3 dots here and use the offset tool. They both do the same thing. If you choose offset, click on the edge and pull it in a little bit, just a little bit. All right. We want to get just the outer ring. Okay, so make sure you've just got the outer ring selected and go ahead and pull that up. And let's pull it up 4 inches. Beautiful. Okay, so there's our funnel. You know what, that seems a little bit big. Let's change that to make it 3 inches. That's better. Okay, now, not very funnel-like, we need to make the top a whole lot wider. And here's how this works. I'm going to get to where I can see the top really well. Okay. I'm going to click off so nothing is selected. Then I'm going to tap just the top ring. I want the whole thing, not just an edge, right? But the whole flat blue there. Good. Remember our scale tool is over here and it's got the wire box around a box. So we'll tap on that. And in this case, we want to do uniform scaling. So we'll tap it again and choose uniform. That lets us scale. And because we only selected the top of our tube, it's only changing the top. So I can create a nice funnel shape by doing this. I'm going to take mine out to about a 4. I like the way that looks. Okay. Now this needs to be brought into place underneath that third ramp. So this is just going to be a matter of kind of playing around a little bit here and getting this into position. And you can see that you've got to kind of get different views on it here. This is one case where the align tool isn't all that useful, but it doesn't take too long to get that in place. You might even decide to make it a little off center so that it's more likely to spin as it goes around. I'm going to go ahead and bring this over so it's just barely touching those supports, something like that. Okay. Now that's going to be hard pressed for that just to stand there or float there, right? That's not going to work. So you're going to have to build some kind of legs or bracket to keep this in place. And I think what I'm going to do is make a bracket, just a bracket system. So I'm going to go back to my 1/4 inch square. It's still sitting over here. And I think maybe 3 inches will be long enough for this. We'll find out. I want this to be stuck to this upright here. So I'm going to use my align tool. So I'm going to grab the back side of this. Zoom in if you have to. and the front side of this. And I'm going to click Align. That's good. But before I go any farther, I'm not going to hit that checkbox yet. I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees so that it's sticking out. And then I'm going to bring it over this way, and I may have to go down a little bit so that it will support this funnel. And you can see I'm almost out of space here. Okay? I can probably come this way a little bit. That looks pretty good. And I know they're intersecting a little bit, but that's okay. If I would have made my funnel a little less wide, or if these legs were a little, if these legs were a little farther apart right here, it would look a little differently, but I think we'll be okay. So checkbox that. I want a second one of these, so I'm just going to make a copy of that bracket and bring it this way. It probably will not connect. Notice I've got a gap right there between my wall and my upright. So I want to go ahead and click on that inside face like that. And this face here, then align that. Remember, it's going to center it. So you want to do the same thing. I'm going to bring this over and bring this down. And this one may look a little different because remember our funnel was a little bit offset. So it may have to go up so that it makes contact with that funnel, something like that. Okay. Now, of course, you could instead make some more verticals. There's a lot of ways to support that. But you want to just kind of show that you are aware of the fact that things can't just float in space. Okay? All right, that's a second machine.